Today in Taipei, a tropical storm could change your weekend plans.
All right, let's kick things off. I'm Garrett.
And I'm Leah. Welcome to Laid Back Local, the news of the day with Leah and Garrett in Taipei. First up, Tropical Storm Mekala is on the move. It formed on June 20th from a tropical depression west of Guam, and it's tracking west-northwest toward Taiwan, with the closest approach expected Thursday, June 24th. For now, forecasts suggest limited impact here, but meteorologists are watching for any westward wobble that could change that picture. Between today and Monday, we're under the influence of a Pacific high-pressure system. Think of that like a big dome of sinking, stable air that usually keeps skies clearer and limits big clouds from building. That means generally steady weather around Greater Taipei through the 22nd, with just some isolated mountain showers in the afternoons. After that, confidence drops as Mekala comes closer, and small track shifts can have big local effects, especially for wind and rain along the north and east coasts. Two quick notes. 1. Environmental conditions are favorable for intensification. Warm water and supportive upper winds can help the storm strengthen over the next couple of days. 2. Even if the center stays offshore, we could still see outer rain bands, gusty periods, and choppy seas. So beach plans and ferry crossings late week might be the first things to feel it. If you live in low-lying areas around New Taipei or near hillside roads where small rock falls are a thing after heavy rain, keep an eye on updates midweek. Simple prep goes a long way. Charge devices, clear balcony drains, and secure loose items. Nothing dramatic right now, just the basics while the track firms up.
Yeah, that checks out. Storms have that, personality shift at the last minute sometimes. Why does that high-pressure system steer it so much? What's the deal there?
Great question. High pressure is like a slow-moving bumper in the atmosphere. Storms tend to go around it. If the high builds stronger or shifts west, it can nudge Mekala closer to our coast. If it weakens or slides east, the storm curves away sooner. Tiny changes up high translate into big track changes down here.
Got it. Even if the forecast says limited impact, I'm still a prep guy. Toss a flashlight where you can find it, keep a small water stash, and don't wait until Thursday to figure it out. Stay curious, watch the updates, and you're golden. All right, let's roll on. Next up, some sobering numbers on stalking cases handled last year across Taiwan. Authorities managed 2,954 cases in 2025 under the Stalking and Harassment Prevention Act. Quick explainer. That law, in effect since June 2022, makes repeated, unwanted following or contact a crime and lets police and courts issue protective measures. Out of those cases, 1,995 were general stalking cases not tied to domestic violence, and 959 were connected to domestic violence situations. The trend line is a bit mixed. General stalking has risen over the last 3 years, while domestic violence-related stalking has actually declined. Most alleged perpetrators were men, about 79.5%, and most victims were women. Roughly 86.8%. More than 80% of victims were between ages 21 and 50. In terms of what the system did, we saw detention in some cases, warnings issued, and protection orders granted. A protection order is a court-backed rule that can limit contact or movement to keep a victim safe. Breaking it has legal consequences. The numbers suggest more people may be reporting general stalking and that the law's tools are being used, but there's still work ahead on prevention and early intervention.
That really lands with me. Why do we think the general stalking cases are rising? Is it more incidents or more people feeling safe to report? It's probably both. Awareness matters. When a law is newer and publicized, people learn the behavior is criminal, not annoying, and they step forward. Social and cultural factors play in too. Women are more frequently targeted, and that shows up in the data. Real talk. Continued training for officers, fast response on warnings, and easy access to protection orders can make someone's week go from fearful to manageable. And support services, counseling, hotlines, need to be visible so victims aren't navigating this alone. Okay, let's move on. Taiwan's cabinet just approved tougher penalties for driving under the influence of drugs. This is a proposed amendment to the Road Traffic Management and Penalty Act, which is Taiwan's main traffic law. If passed by the legislature, it would allow driver's license revocation and even the seizure of the vehicle used in the offense, regardless of who owns it. Repeat offenders and people who refuse drug testing would face higher fines, and those who cause serious harm could face lifetime license bans, meaning you permanently lose driving privileges. There's also a new angle here that adult passengers riding with a drug-impaired driver can be penalized too, which is aimed at discouraging anyone from enabling risky behavior. The main goal is deterrence. Make the consequences clear, steep, and consistent, and you reduce the incentive to take the wheel under the influence. The bill is pending legislative review, so it isn't law yet, but the signal is unmistakable. Road safety is front and center this year.
I'm down for that. Drug-impaired driving is like a public danger from the second the engine turns over. The surprise for me is the vehicle seizure, even if it isn't the driver's car. Why go that far?
Because the goal is to remove the tool used to commit the offense and to prevent people from playing shell games with ownership. If the consequence sticks to the car, not just the driver, it reduces the chance someone borrows or switches vehicles to dodge penalties. It's a strong deterrent. You think twice if your family's or friend's car could be impounded for your bad choice.
Yeah, that hits different. Bottom line, fewer impaired drivers means safer commutes for everyone, from scooters to buses to cyclists. Speaking of transport, Taoyuan Airport MRT had a hiccup on Sunday. A switch problem near A6 Taishan Guihe Station caused a short disruption just before noon. Quick note, a track switch is the piece of rail that shifts trains from one track to another. If the sensors don't confirm it's locked, operations slow or pause for safety. The issue was spotted at 11:53 a.m., and normal service resumed by 12:18 p.m. after staff confirmed trains could pass safely. About 8 trains were delayed, roughly 6 minutes each, and intervals, the time gap between trains, didn't fully normalize until around 2 p.m. Taoyuan Metro apologized, said they'll inspect the equipment after hours, and they're offering proof of delay slips at information counters across most stations, except the unstaffed A20 Xingnan station, where there isn't a counter team on site.
Honestly, that was a quick recovery. Kudos to the crews for clearing it in under half an hour. But why do switches fail in the first place? Wear, weather, or just a sensor being picky?
All of the above: moving metal parts, electrical contacts, and software handshakes. Heat, moisture, and vibration add up. That's why proactive maintenance, regular inspections, and part replacements before end of life is key. Still, this one shows the safety culture working. Stop, verify, then roll. If you were delayed, grab that proof of delay slip for any travel claims you need to make.
Last up today, roads. The Dragon Boat Festival break kicked off with heavy highway traffic. The Freeway Bureau, which manages our national expressways, flagged big volumes early Friday, hitting about 8.9 million vehicle kilometers between midnight and 5 a.m. Quick translation: vehicle kilometers is just the total distance all vehicles traveled added together, a handy way to show how busy the roads are. Southbound on the western corridors was expected to peak later in the day, and the recommendation was to head out after noon to dodge the worst jams. With possible rain in the mix, the Bureau also warned about slick conditions and urged drivers to avoid fatigue. So build in rest stops, rotate drivers if you can, and keep speeds steady. Holiday traffic can double a normal weekday's load. Planning really matters on weekends like this.
Here's a thought I've been turning over. If you can, shift your departure to off-peak windows, early afternoon or later evening, and map 2 alternates. I'm a big fan of the simple stuff. Snacks within reach, water up front, and a playlist you actually like. If you hit a slowdown, that's not the moment to get fancy. Keep space, signal early, and watch for sudden lane changes near ramps. It's wild how much smoother the ride feels with just a little prep. And yeah, rain plus holiday traffic is a curveball, so lights on and keep it chill.
So there's your big picture, from storm tracks to traffic lanes.
That's it from us at Laid Back Local, the news of the day with Leah and Garrett in Taipei. Have a great day and tune in tomorrow.